Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Isaacman, thank you very much for being here. I've enjoyed the hearing. I'd like to follow up on the discussion that you were just having with my colleague from California, Mr. Whitesides. Like Congressman Whitesides, I'm a big fan of the work done at NASA's facility, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I was a Caltech alum, so I spent some time at JPL in college, but more recently, I was there watching the landing of the Perseverance rover a few years ago, and I mean, I would hope everyone would agree that they are really the class of the world when it comes to research in robotic space exploration. But like Congressman Whitesides, I was very distraught at the recent layoffs and budget cuts at JPL, and I wonder if I could ask about what your plans are for facilities like JPL. Do you think that they are going to continue, are going to have funding restored? Did you further funding cut, or something in between?
Well, thank you for the question. I have a great appreciation for the work of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and we do absolutely intend to make very good use of the expertise that's out there. As Congressman Whitesides pointed out, the Skyfall program is going to be run out of JPL. The Moonfall program, which is also quite cool. I mean, these are autonomous hopper drones that are going to be used as part of the moon-based construction, also carry scientific payload. We're also going to leverage the expertise at JPL to insert subject matter experts across other programs to ensure we get to good outcomes. When I talk about accelerating the Artemis program, NASA is never going to sit on our hands anymore and hope everybody delivers for our moon-based ambitions. We are putting brilliant minds in the supply chain, every vendor, subcontractor, and component on the critical path to drive outcomes, and I suspect JPL will play a role in that. I will say, though, that we constantly have to look at when we get things right, great, let's learn from that and apply it elsewhere. Where do we get things wrong and do it better? And, you take the Mars sample return mission, which JPL owned on that one. I mean, that program was canceled under the previous administration after, as I mentioned in my remarks, it went from $4 billion to $10 billion. And there's $2 billion of taxpayer dollars that are lost now that could have gone to good science and discovery. So there's certainly room for improvement. I will also say where an area that I think we can do better is going to be in the reimbursable work. JPL has a lot of expertise that they help across government and industry. The last administration wound down quite a bit of that, which did result in some of the layoffs. That is something I've tried to reverse course on quite quickly, not just at JPL, at other centers. Where NASA's brilliant minds can be helpful and contribute reimbursable work to supplement the budget, we should welcome those conversations.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to working with you in that respect. Also wanted to ask about NASA's Lunar Terrain Vehicle program. Obviously, that is going to be a key part of sustained service operations under the Artemis campaign. Based on your current budget request, do you believe that that program is adequately resourced to meet the goals and timelines that you have set for it?
Yes, Congressman. Not only would I say it's adequately resourced, it's back to what I would say a more achievable track. At the time I arrived, which I would say is before President Trump established the national space policy that called for building a moon base, we were going to procure one extremely expensive lunar rover as a service. Put a lot of eggs in one basket when there's a lot of industry that's capable of contributing, that wants to learn and mature capabilities for a time, not just to support NASA's lunar-based requirements for logistics and crewed and uncrewed mobility, but perhaps to do autonomous science. So now we are on a path to procure lots of LTVs. We're not necessarily going right to the dream state as a service. Maybe what begins, the first 3 rovers, will look very similar to what we saw during the Apollo era, and that's fine because we haven't driven a rover on the moon in a very long time, but we'll use that to learn with industry to inform subsequent designs, and we will procure lots of rovers in the years ahead, and we are going to draw upon the resources from the Working Family Tax Cut Act, plus within our Science Technology Mission Directorate, Exploration Systems Mission Directorate line items.
We're certainly looking forward to working with you on those.
Yes, sir.
Last question in the time I have remaining. I wanted to ask about the research being done into space weather. I mean, obviously that the Artemis 2 mission utilized a bunch of solar observational data that came from our research community, and I'm wondering how NASA sees collaboration with the research community in terms of space weather. It's something that's been a priority for this committee.
And I certainly concur with it. So I think between the assets that we presently have available and where we can transition in the future, space weather is one that we've received a lot of feedback from industry across all the various constellation providers that they would like to be able to lean into supporting at least the collection of the data for the researchers in the years ahead, and I think that's a good thing. But there's no doubt this is imperative. Space weather impacts the decay of our satellites up there. It impacts the health of our astronauts when we send them out on deep space missions, a very different environment from the International Space Station. So in that respect, I'm obviously very, very supportive of the ongoing research in that field.
All right. Well, we look forward to working with you on that.
Yes,
My
sir.
time's expired. I yield back.